Is Ecuador a safe place? In general, the answer is yes. Ecuador is a safe place. But like any other place in the world, you must be cautious and have common sense when you come here. So let's check out on that. Hello world! Welcome to a new video of Build-Up Tours channel. I am Luis Velasquez and I am the founder of Build-Up Tours. Build-Up Tours is a tour operator located in Ecuador. We're specialized in cultural and community tourism. Our goal is to help in the development of Ecuador and the communities of Ecuador. Of course, always taking into account sustainability of the territories and their cultures. I'm not your average guide because I have specialized myself in the last 6 years working with expats who have relocated to Ecuador. So I have worked in the immigration field as well. And I like to be honest about things. This video is about safety in Ecuador. Is Ecuador a safe place? In general, the answer is yes. Ecuador is a safe place. But like any other place in the world, you must be cautious and have common sense when you come here. So let's check out on that. If you're interested in coming to Ecuador as a visitor or as a resident or as a visitor who is on an exploratory trip to see if this might be a destination for living in the future, you may contact me. We organize personalized tours according to your needs. We can also help you on the immigration part if you would like to. Right now I am at one of the markets in Cuenca, Mercado 10 de Agosto, market 10th of August. This is a place where people usually do their groceries. As you may see, there are many people here. During the day it is safe to be here, it is safe to walk here. During night, I wouldn't say it is dangerous, but it is not advisable to be here. Safety is also about being well, right? So if you eat something that might be dangerous for your stomach, you're endangering yourself. So you have to be cautious about food as well. I don't really recommend you to eat at local markets if you are not used to food here. Maybe about a week, a couple of weeks, depending on your length of stay here. And about fruits, you have to wash them very well, vegetables, cook them very well. I wouldn't recommend you to eat at local markets if you are not really used to eat outside. For example, let's have a look here. This is the place in Market 10 de Agosto where you may have the traditional dish in this area, in Cuenca, which is the hornado, baked pork. It is very delicious and it is very traditional to eat also at the local markets. Here you could easily eat it, I would say, if you are used to pig, because sellers have been trained year after year to get better at hygiene. And you will find here people from all places, other countries and other regions of Ecuador. Very delicious. These are also safe places to eat at. You don't have to really worry about crime here, because these are places where usually tourists visit to eat at. Something you also have to be careful about is when you go on the crosswalks. Many drivers won't respect them, so you have to be careful. I am at this moment at the historic district of Cuenca. Of course, it is one of the most tourist spots here. And like in almost any tourist spot, you will have guards all around. But even though, one piece of advice that I can give you is that you don't carry your valuable things or like cell phone just like these and being entertained all around, especially in crowded places. Pickpocketing, the major risk that you will have in any major city in Ecuador. Like in any major city, you will need to be cautious, looking always all around. You shouldn't be carrying your cell phone just like that everywhere and looking around, because someone could run and snatch it out of your hands. So be careful. All major cities have their walkable areas, but they also have their areas where you shouldn't go at all. Like in any major city, we could say that Orlando is a safe city in general, but there are neighborhoods that aren't that safe. Same thing here in Cuenca. And in the country, there are areas that you shouldn't go to, like the areas in the northern border, Carchi, Sucumbíos, and northern Esmeraldas. That's the border with Colombia. Can we say that the US is a safe country? Yes, of course. However, can we say that all of the US is safe? Not really. I've heard many stories from places like San Francisco, Baltimore, Detroit, New York, and recently I heard this news about an Ecuadorian girl who was robbed in New Orleans. So not all of the US is safe, not all cities are safe. Same thing here. This is a safe place. You can watch. You can see, this is the historic district of Cuenca, and you can walk safely. Even at night, this is a safe place. But, like in any major city, you have to be cautious. It is a matter of common sense. Common sense will keep you safe 99% of the times. As you see, this is a tourist area, it is crowded, so no risk here. Actually, your major risk would be pickpocketing. That would be maybe the only risk you would have here. Even by night, this is crowded. In Quito, you have very similar areas like these. And if you want to make the most of your trip, my recommendation is that you get a tour guide. I actually strongly advise you to hire a guide if you don't speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish, you will still have a nice time. You will be able to see many things, visit many places. But with a tour guide, you will be able to visit even more places that without Spanish you might be missing. When we look at the details, you can say that Ecuador is in general safe, but there are areas that aren't, and it is not recommended at all. However, don't trust only my opinion. Let's look at some official references about safety in Ecuador. Okay, let us watch first at the website of the US Department of State for travelers, travel.state.gov. The travel advisory levels here are 4. Number 1 is exercise normal precautions. That is for most of the world. It is safe to travel to the destination with level 1, but you have to exercise normal precautions. Number 2 is exercise increased caution. Number 3 is reconsider travel, because there is considerable risk in that destination. And number 4 is do not travel. This is usually for countries in war or whose leaders see the United States as enemies of their nation, like in North Korea or Venezuela. So, what do we have for Ecuador? The Ecuador Travel Advisory is, as of April 19, 2022, Level 2, Exercise Increased Caution. Exercise increased caution in Ecuador due to crime. Some areas have increased risk. Read the entire travel advisory. Okay, I'm not reading everything here because this is for you to check constantly, as this might be updated once a month. But what I wanted to show you is mainly that they recommend you not to travel, or they encourage you not to travel to Carchi, Sucumbíos, and the northern part of Esmeraldas provinces, including Esmeralda City, due to crime. Guayaquil, south of Protected Turkey Avenue, due to crime. This is mainly
south of Guayaquil. But there are also dangerous areas in the north of Guayaquil. However, there's nothing for a tourist to see there, so you wouldn't actually be going ever there as a tourist. Let's check the UK website for foreign travel advice. They say, crime. Due to an increased violent crime, a state of exception was declared on 29th April 2022 in 3 provinces, Guayas, Esmeraldas, and Manabí. The state of exception is due to end on 28 June 2022. Military forces will be mobilized in these provinces to offer security and prevent crime. During this period, there will be a curfew in 4 districts: Parroquia Esmeraldas in Esmeraldas, Parroquia Jimena in Guayaquil, Parroquia Pascuales in Guayaquil, and Parroquia Eloy Alfaro in Duran between 11 p.m. and 5 p.m. These are not places where you actually will go as a tourist. Only Esmeraldas. Esmeraldas has nice beaches, but it is not really recommended. These people are suffering because tourism has decreased a lot, especially after pandemic, because now they are dealing with crime. And personally, I'm entering to work into tourism because I think that tourism is a way to deal with these issues of crimes, poverty, because there are many beauties in the city and in the whole province of Esmeraldas, which the inhabitants could make the most of in order to get revenue, in order to live. And this is actually called the Green Province because of all of its nature. It's a natural paradise. Do not wear expensive jewelry when walking around, and there are other things here. Transport safety. Zebra crossing are usually not respected by drivers throughout Ecuador. Pedestrians are recommended to exercise extra caution when crossing roads. Since 2018, there have been numerous reports of robberies on interstate transport at bus stations, especially Quito, Baños, Cuenca, Tena, Riobamba, Mindo, and Loja tourist towns. Most incidents take place at night. Where possible, you should avoid traveling by road after dark. Cases involving British nationals have been reported on various routes. Don't store your bag in overhead luggage space or underneath your seat. Keep your valuables in a safe place, preferably in a money belt or safe inside pocket. So this is long and I like it because they tell you about all the things you should be cautious. So you should take a look at this before you travel to Ecuador. And as you see, Cuenca is not really here as a dangerous city or a city you should be very cautious about. And Canada, they also have their International Travel Advisory website. Risk level, Ecuador. Exercise a high degree of caution in Ecuador due to high levels of crime. However, as we could see in the previous pages, this is in certain areas. Regional risks. Northern provinces, avoid non-essential travel. Border area with Colombia, avoid all travel. Minefields near the southern portion of the border with Peru, avoid all travel. Okay, Canada has also a lot of text about traveling to Ecuador, safety in Ecuador, and in medical services and facilities. They have healthcare is available, but the quality of care varies greatly throughout the country. In Quito, Guayaquil, and Cuenca, private hospitals offer medical services comparable to those in Canada. In smaller towns and in rural areas, however, health services are below Canadian standards. So there are many things for you to check here, and this is a lot for me to read here. But in general, you can see that most of Ecuador is not a place that is unsafe. And I know that you will be able to check that through YouTubers and through other websites. And I hope to be able to show you that too in future videos throughout Ecuador.
Okay, having that checked, we could say that Ecuador is a relatively safe country. Of course, there are some measures you have to take into account for avoiding your risk in Ecuador. All pieces of advice I could give you are common sense, so they would work either for Cuenca, Quito, Guayaquil, Paris, London, New York, all the same. For example, at night, don't walk at areas that you don't know. Most tourist areas are safe, but at night, the best is to go by cab to your place, to the place where you're staying. Don't accept drinks, cigarettes from strangers. You don't know what they could put on them and what could happen. Also, in crowded places, watch out all times for your belongings, because pickpocketing might be common in crowded places. Violent crimes, yes, they are happening in some areas of Ecuador, and as you see, the governments recommend don't go there at all. There is an alert level for these places. When you go out, don't carry your original document. Most times a copy of your passport and of the stamp of your entrance will suffice. When you travel between cities, don't take your luggage with you on the upper part. The best is to carry it underneath the bus in the hold, because it is very common in long trips when people are sleeping that someone takes your belongings. So you have to be very careful about that. I really hate that these things happen here, but they have happened. So be cautious. Common sense will keep you safe 99% of the time. There's been declared a state of emergency in Ecuador, but it is not for all of Ecuador. It is only for some areas in the country, in the cities of Guayaquil, Duran, Esmeraldas, and as I showed you, you could travel to Ecuador. Many people are traveling or having good experiences. If you are with common sense, you will most likely or almost certainly be safe. Is it safe to ride buses in Ecuador? Yes, it is safe to ride buses, but don't do it at the peak times, at peak hours, because it is very easily that you get pickpocketed. This is for urban buses in the city, of course. For buses from city to city, the system is very different. I am at your service for any piece of advice that you would like about Ecuador, or if you would like customized tours, just let me know. Send me an email to info@BuildUpTours. If you find this type of content useful, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment about what you would like to see, what you would like to know about Ecuador, for more content that could be of use to you. Another recommendation I could give you is that if you don't speak Spanish, get a guide, because with a guide you could know many more places and you could make the most of your trip, and you will do it in a safer way, because guides know where you can go and where you can't go. So always that you can get a tour guide, do so. Remember, I am Luis Velasquez at Build Up Tours. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. That would really help me in this life dream and life project of mine. Thank you very much for watching the video until this point, and any questions, any comments that you have, you may leave them in the comments. For a more customized service, you could send me an email or contact me through any of my social media. Thank you for watching the video to this point, and see you in the next adventure. Bye bye.